What's
Yo,
up,
what up?
man?
How you doing, man?
Good, dude.
Good, man.
Another fine day
Yeah,
in
man.
the Northwest.
Looks kind of chilly.
Oh,
Chilly
it's
down here.
57 degrees, man. This is nice.
Oh, we got a nice 70, 74.
Dang.
It's cold.
That's uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, man. So what's new, man? I know you were telling me about some outages and stuff.
Oh yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of cell phone outages.
Is it true? Like, is it real outages? Like a problem outage or like testing outages? Or I don't. Sometimes they test stuff.
Dude, who knows? You can't. I don't know. Do you have a news source that you use to find out any real information?
That's the hardest question in the world, right there. That's
I
the
love
hardest one,
asking
right?
older people that too.
I don't use one source of anything because I mean, someone gonna say, I mean, there's manipulation, there's strategy. Some people got to make money, so you kind of got to bits and piece it together. Like an investigator, and try to figure out what's real, what's fake, what's entertainment, what's cult following, what all that stuff,
That's
and
where
then go from there.
the cult stuff is where the real truth is.
Yeah, you got to be careful, bro. You might throw them off. They might be on the bone.
They got some answers there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even
Nick,
know what people if all cell phones went out for 2 weeks. I don't know what that would even do. Like, what would be the fallout from that if all cell phone signal went out? One, most people wouldn't know where they're going
no.
automatically.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know if people know where to get maps or have a map.
That's one thing I have to get in both my vehicles is a road atlas because I still know how to use that from back in the day.
Oh yeah,
That's really the only way. My dad was a post office driver, and I always remember him having this big old road atlas.
bro, you can find anything.
Anything.
Hey,
I think it makes your like map reading and directional skills go up so much if you have to just do that too.
of course, dude. Like, thinking about. I mean, you ask a person. My dad, he can do like from driving a fire truck, he can do like do it by numbers. Like, oh, this 3456, so that's 34. That's the 34th Street, and that's the 56th Avenue. Okay, that's by the walk. He can pull it up like that in his head because he's been
Yeah.
doing it so long. No
Yeah.
no GPS. Oh, 56. I got to go 56 streets up. You know,
That's a
that's like
dangerous skill, man. That's a
that's a skill,
dangerous skill
bro.
to have.
And on feet, a car is one thing, but to be able to do that on foot, what's the address? Okay, that's 56 blocks. So I know I got a journey of 56 blocks. Or I got to go from 100 to 500. That's gonna take about 3 days. You know that off the top of your head. You know.
Yeah. It's like when I get a call from people who are like 60, 70 years old, they
Mm-hmm.
always want to give me directions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you're coming down Broadway, it's not the first left, it's the second. I'm always like, I'll just put it in my phone. They're like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I mean, I'm sure they don't even have GPS on their phones because that's probably harder for them to use than just figuring it out like they always have.
Yeah.
And cities are more like where your dad can do that type of skill at, but
Mm-hmm.
when you get further out into the suburbs or like the country,
Oh yeah.
there's none of that. It's like you go off of Johnson Creek Road or one of these big roads that people know, and then you just give them like a mile marker and a turn, but it doesn't work
Yeah.
like the blocks and numbers.
Yeah. Florida got that
Portland
whole
works like
grid.
that.
Oh, Portland. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know why these conspiracy theorists keep being right. Like you were saying, bro. I don't know. I don't know. They keep getting some stuff on the head. They said the cell phones were gonna go out, didn't they? They said you
Yeah,
got to get the ham radio. You got to get the walkie talkie. You know.
I'm gonna get one.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if everything went out, like how could people communicate across the country?
There would be no way. You'd have to get landlines going again, which I don't know how viable that is.
I don't even know. They probably cranked them things up again. My parents still got a landline. They still
Yeah,
got one.
people still have them.
But so you think when everything shut down, it's not like walkie talkies and radio hand radios is not going to be the way to communicate. Like,
I
what do I
think
need to get?
I think it would have to. You kind of have to do research. I know you need to get like a tower. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to go long distances, I don't even know if I could put a tower here that would communicate with you over there. I don't know how far it goes.
I don't know how true it is, but I gotta find it. I was looking at these. They look like walkie talkies, but for some reason they work off of I think radio waves, right?
Might be satellites.
Maybe I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know if it was satellite. I don't know what it worked off of. I don't know the science behind it. But supposedly, if someone was across the country and you had these walkie talkies, you can communicate. Now
Yeah,
I think it's only with that machine, that walkie talkie,
yeah.
that you can communicate with. I don't know exactly how it worked. I was interested in it. Like, if everything go down, at least you can say like, "Hey, man, what's going on over there? Hey, Dad, what's going on?" And I know,
Hmm.
bro, I know there's technologies out there to handle that. Because if people who building these bunkers, you know, they got to have a way to communicate. They got to have a way to communicate. That's the biggest thing.
It's true. I've always thought about just getting it so that I could at least talk to my wife and kids if something happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's always the craziness in some kind of situation where stuff blacks out or
Yeah.
blacks out and there's emergency going on.
Yeah.
People always like move around
They start
and
moving. People start moving. Yeah.
they start moving around and you can't tell like, oh man, I thought they were home. Where did they go? Like, are they out? Did they go just down the road to the grocery store? Should I wait here? Or it's like being lost.
Yeah, that's a big problem right there. And people don't know how to make themselves traceable for the people who
No.
are looking for you. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is our thing. Oh, you went this direction. Oh, you left because of emergency. Oh, people don't know how to communicate that stuff. They don't have to.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm wondering. Like, all right, so the cell phones went out. So communication's down. Let's say something goes haywire. You know, I don't know. All communication goes out, and then electricity goes out. How could someone stop all electricity? I mean, maybe we shouldn't say that, but like, what would be like the real deal? Like, everyone always say, EMP. What is that? EMP.
Yeah.
You know, everyone always says that. That's what the conspiracy theorists say. EMP. Don't knock out the grid. But how likely is that? Wouldn't the grid have to be like physically like someone has to go and destroy it for it to be messed up and have no electricity? I don't even know.
I have no idea. I mean, theoretically, I don't think they even know what the EMP will do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I'm sure they've made some tests, but as far as I know, it's everything that's like a certain size of conductor, like
Mm-hmm.
little connections and stuff. The pulse would be strong enough to like fry that. Now, I don't know how much electronic circuits are required for keeping the grid together, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to destroy your power lines. Like if an EMP goes off, it's not going to sever power lines and large connections. It's going to affect circuitry. Like your phone will be totally toast. Like it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
just, it's not like a video game where it's like, there's an EMP and then your sight
Mm-hmm.
goes out and your phone goes out or your screen, your little optics and stuff go out for like
Mm-hmm.
20 seconds and it all comes back on. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's unless you know how to
Hey,
rewire a cell phone with microscopic soldering points, it's gone.
bro, we gotta find a dude. We gotta find another dude or person or someone that who understands like, yeah, this is how the city grid works. This is how all this stuff works. You
Yeah.
know, that'd be interesting, like to figure out like, okay, if these mains go down, no, we got a backup. This is how it works. These shut down, but emergency resources. Like I know, like hospitals, like the hospital systems that they have for backup emergency electrical. I
Hmm.
don't know how it is in Portland, but in Florida, even not retirement homes, but like assisted living facilities,
Yeah.
they gotta have a backup source. You gotta have a backup energy source if you're doing assisted living or a plan or emergency plan, so you can evacuate with all the people inside of your assisted living facility.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I hear people talk. I know we said conspiracy theories, but some of the stuff that they talk about, I don't. Some of the stuff they're saying is happening. So who's to say that something else won't happen? Maybe not all at one time, but what if this happened piece by piece? First the cell phone, then an EMP did come and knocked out some stuff. But I know that alone, like if there was no electricity for a week,
Yeah.
I don't know what the calamity would be. I don't know what the aftermath would be. I don't know how many people will just not survive instantly with just 1 week without electricity. I don't even know.
I think it'd take more than a week, but I mean, in some of the cold areas, it probably would. People can't get into like a hospital facility or something like that. But the hospitals have a certain amount of backup power that they can run on. It's not infinite, but they are designed to be like self-sustaining.
Yeah.
But like the people who are in their home that are not in a hospital care situation, that are elderly
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have anyone to take care of them, that's probably who's at risk. Or people with in-home hospital equipment that need it running all the time,
Yeah, that's exactly it.
you might have a problem. Whereas in a power outage, you could just go get in an ambulance and go to the hospital. Um, I mean, you could still do that, but if the hospital's taking everyone and all neighborhoods
Yeah.
are down,
Yeah.
I
Look,
mean,
I know from we got police officers, our family, we got and firefighter, bro. There's not enough services out there to service like a whole area at one
no,
time,
no
bro.
way.
It won't even. I don't know how that would even function. 911. I don't know how if something went down like that. I don't even know how that would function. It wouldn't function. You're not getting.
Yeah.
You might be the first on the ambulance, but bro, 5 calls was shut down a whole. Well, not maybe a whole county, but depending on how big your county is, and each place inside each city inside of that county,
Hmm.
or each township inside of that county gets a phone call. Hey, I got this over here. You can only send one ambulance at a time, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a firefighter, paramedic on every single corner. They got to service that whole area. What happens when that one area gets 7 calls? That's it, just 7.
Yeah. That's not a lot.
That's not a lot, bro. That's not a lot. And then you get to the hospital. Hospital, yeah, they self-sustain. Most of them they have backup energy sources. But how long? For how long? And then as soon as they get overcrowded, that system gets overwhelmed.
Didn't they kind of talk about this in a Batman movie? I feel like the one with the the one with the dude with the mask, Bane. I thought that's what he did was like cause all these emergencies to happen at the same time, and all
Oh,
the responders were like, we can't take care of all these districts all at once,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
when they called like a state of emergency or whatever.
That's that secret. That's that secret inside of the movie because that will literally shut down. Too many calls at one time will shut down a whole county.
Yeah, and I think the one of the inspectors was like, "This is the perfect amount of calls to shut us down." Like someone knew,
Mm-hmm.
someone did the research and found out.
Well, I guess the conspiracy theories got another one. They've been hitting it. They said people gonna start building bunkers, right?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about this conspiracy though. I'm more worried about what I see going on with one, all of the aluminum and stuff that goes into the drinking water and medication, vaccines, like all this type of stuff. And then the fact that there's potentially like microwave technology out there or even cellular radiation,
Mm-hmm.
affecting this, because I do see a lot more metals going into people's body these days. And I was listening to somebody talk about how, have you ever put a piece of tinfoil in a microwave or a fork on accident?
Yeah, yeah,
It don't
yeah.
take,
Yeah. You having a bad day? That thing's frying up. You get
yeah.
that little lightning bolt comes down.
How would
Yeah.
you know that people aren't getting microwaved like right now? And who knows what it would do?
See, this is when you need. This is when you need a scientist to come and explain it. This is when you need two scientists who gonna explain both sides. Because one side is gonna say, "Oh, that's not scientifically correct." I want both. I want the scientist that's gonna say that's not correct, and I want the scientist to say, "Well, it is possible." Because I want to
Yeah.
hear both. I like the guy who says it's
Oh,
possible
same.
because you know. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how. People say, "Oh yeah, metals get stored in your body." I don't know how true that is. I don't know. I'm not. I don't have the understanding fully to say that metals stay in your body. Maybe they come out. Maybe they stay in there forever. I don't know. But if it is running through your system, yeah, everything around you might amplify that, right? You walking across. I mean, you got batteries near you all day. You got Wi-Fi signals. You have all types of cellular signals coming through, and maybe it would respond to it. Maybe the body would respond to it. I don't know.
Yeah, or like this stuff of just how much money is being produced when people are sick, you
Mm,
know? And if there's a way you can turn that on and off with a switch, that would be the way you'd go about doing it, is put something in people's bodies along with a medication, because most people who are taking some kind of medication are already going to have comorbidities and
mm,
vulnerabilities that, if something changes in the atmosphere a little bit,
yeah.
you could turn on the microwave for just a few months before cold and flu seasons compromise immune systems,
Yeah,
and
depressed immune systems.
you'd have money, dude. It would make so much money.
Well, I don't know.
Just
I think right now the health industry is already making a lot of money, bro. You
it
see
don't
all of
matter.
yeah, that's true.
They,
But
it is not
you
their
see,
motivation is to make just enough.
I was listening to a pharmacy tech talk about how like they work at Walgreens,
Yeah,
CVS and Walgreens, and they're saying like, man, they can't even hire enough people or get people to stay on. They're doing crazy hours because there's so much stuff happening, like so much things that pharmacy techs and people who work in pharmacists have to do now.
yeah,
They're doing cash register. They're making sure and distributing the right medicine to the right person. They're also in the back, separating and putting, bottling things. And like they don't even have enough people to service all the stuff that's happening, bro. It's a lot. I mean, you know how busy a pharmacy is all day.
oh yeah.
I don't even know how many people are on medication. I don't even know that number. Like, I wonder what that percentage is. We need to look that up. Like the percentage of people on medication in it for every day, and how much is life critical? How much is disease? Slowing or disease preventative. I don't know. Like,
Well, I'll just say this: I'm in a lot of houses every day. You
mm-hmm,
know, working on every room in the house, including the bathroom.
mm-hmm,
I would hazard to guess that most people are on medication. Also, when I go for any type of test or anything where there's a doctor asking me questions,
mm-hmm.
they're like, "What medications are you on?" I'm not on anything.
Yeah,
No, no. Well, I don't mean, you know, just this or that. Like, which ones are you taking?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not on any. Wow, that's something I never hear. Usually, they're so surprised. They're so shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I got to believe it's a big number.
Yeah. We gotta look that up because I'm just wondering. Like, I'm not saying the conspiracy theorists are right. I'm just saying that the conspiracy theorists are interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You know, I don't know, man. I think everybody's kind of wishing they can live a certain life right now, and I think it would be. I think most people will want to live a life of health. I think that would be something that most people would want. I don't think too many people are like, man, I just want to be on healthy as I can. You know, well, maybe some, but but I don't
Man,
know. I think
I just want to go. Sorry, what were you going to say?
no. I was just saying. I think about that sometimes. I think about like
Yeah, me too.
you know stuff. You know, if stuff shut down, how I'm going to take care of my family. You know, if stuff really does slow down or shut down, which seems like things keep. We had one experience with the. You know, I don't know if we can say the word with the last thing, with the last Ovid, but things shut down. Things shut down. Stuff, quote unquote, stopped.
Yeah.
So, what if something else came along that made stuff stop? You know, how you gonna do it? But you're saying something. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I think that's a good place to go because I don't really think too many people actually have an answer. I've talked to a lot of paranoid preppers,
Mm-hmm.
and I can always see lots of problems with their plans. My wife is always saying, you can't plan for all scenarios, which I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best thing you can do is adopt skills that will help you get out of situations because that's really the only thing you can guarantee you're going to have. Where you might be on vacation, you might be up in an airplane, you might be in a different country.
Oh, the airport.
So
Yeah.
you did all this prepping, you did all this, you stocked up. But are you even going to be around your stuff? Is that the kind of life you want to live? Uh, or do you think it's smarter to get skills that will take care of you in almost any situation you're in?
That's one thing too. I think everybody seems to be prepping for a scenario.
It
Well, how
doesn't
you know
make
that's
any
going?
sense.
How you know it's gonna be that's the scenario? Like, yeah, okay. If things shut down, you're gonna need food. But what if that's not the thing that break down? What if society just goes into the rich and poor? You know, yeah, you got food, but you still gotta pay electricity. Like I don't understand like why that's always. I guess that's the most interesting. To watch somebody store 50,000 cans of beans. They say we're gonna. That's what we're living on. You
Yeah.
know, but I know that there's situations where you might need emergency food, but I don't know, man. I don't know how people are preparing for a certain scenario. That's what I'm always like. How you know that's gonna happen like that?
Okay. All the houses I've been in, guess who preps the best?
Who?
The Mormons.
Oh, see, yeah.
Hands down, no question
Oh,
about it.
yeah, yeah,
You see what they got, and you're just like, you're gonna outlast everybody.
yeah.
I mean, they might be the ones that start it with the way I've seen things. Like they would be doing all right.
I think the only people I think would compete is the Amish.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the
Like,
Amish have production still going when everything's shut down. They still are. I mean,
man,
life is exactly the same.
nothing changing.
You might
And
have
they got
a barn light that doesn't turn on anymore, but that's about it.
hey, but they got the ability with what they already know, plus the future technology that they can include inside of their system, and they way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Way. So if I feel like if you're not prepping like that, then you kind of thinking that like, oh yeah, everything gonna shut down. I'm just gonna sit in my house and we got food. Everything gonna be straight. We're gonna be here.
Yeah.
Maybe, but what happens?
Well,
What happens if you're in a place where it floods and you prepping for food?
all
Ain't all
gone.
your food destroyed in one Noah's Ark?
Yeah.
scenario. You
It,
know.
yeah. Where was Noah at?
No.
Must have
So
been that yacht I seen in the harbor. Noah's Ark.
yeah, yeah. That's the ones who got it. That's the ones. But yeah, man. I don't know.
No, dude, I wish we were just back in the time where conspiracy theories were fun. They weren't real.
Ooh.
There wasn't anything going on that's like, uh, didn't we hear about this like 10 years ago? Someone said this was going to happen with
Mm,
vaccines or power, like cell phone outages, or
mm,
everyone going to AI, or
mm,
people putting stuff inside their brain. Oh, the days of just like that's never going to happen when it was actually like a real thought are just
yeah.
so awesome. It's like the Bigfoot and the Yeti and JFK
Mm-hmm.
and uh, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa.
You know,
Yeah.
those were the good days. These ones now are just like, okay, I want to watch the movie. I don't want to be in it. You know?
I know, but the conspiracy theorists keep hitting it. Some, either they just getting the info first and then they put this information out, but something hitting, some of them hitting too close. And then
Yeah.
the other side is that like now the conspiracy theorists kind of line up with the spiritualists, where the whole spiritual awakening thing is like these
Oh,
two things are.
I don't like any of that, bro.
It's kind of
It's too real.
it's kind of like people going like, well, what am I doing? What is this? Why are we doing it? People starting to ask questions. People starting to think about life. Uh, I don't know, man. I think all these things are tying together. I think, I'm not saying the conspiracy theories are right. I'm saying that we need to listen to people. We need to listen to people. People asking questions, man.
Did you know they're voting on that thing right in the next 6 months, I think,
On
about
what thing?
um it's I'm gonna say the wrong thing here.
That's all right. I
It's
mean,
like a UN international agreement between all these countries that if another emergency situation happens, they will have all of these rights automatically in their pocket. Like they could shut down podcasts. They could tell you can't say that. They could imprison people for it. They could tell governments this is how you are going to tell your people to be. And the scary thing about this thing is they're not having people vote on it because it's over in, it's a national agreement. So
mm,
it's an international agreement. So it's a bunch of these countries.
mm.
So none of the citizens get to vote for it is basically what I'm saying. They were just talking about it on Joe Rogan with Brett Weinstein. You could look up that podcast to hear more about it. But it was scary stuff. They don't want people to vote or have a say or have media to listen to when there is something going on. They want to hold everything, and they use it. They say like, "Oh, it's for your own safety."
Mm. What
But
was
they
that?
didn't do too well with that last time.
Well, it's like what was it? Abraham Lincoln? Was it Abraham Lincoln?
What do you say?
I don't know. The quote. You give up your liberty for safety. You don't deserve freedom, or
I
the other way
think
around.
that was Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. I think that was
Think
Jefferson.
I think so.
Well, we'll figure it out. But yeah,
Yeah, comedy
that
show.
that's that. Yeah, exactly.
People are like, no, that wasn't.
That's the hardest thing, man. I don't. When it comes to quieting people's voices, I
Yeah,
know that. See, a voice can be a dangerous thing, man. It's a powerful thing, and if you slow that down, you stop people from thinking, and that could be a dangerous thing too, bro. It's dangerous on every side because people start thinking and people start taking action. That's what happens, and that all starts from someone just talking. Like if I, sorry, my son. if I start um, getting people to think about something, you're awakening their consciousness. You're awakening their thought process. You're awakening their feelings, emotion, all this stuff. So yeah, man, when stuff starts going wild, to keep things civil, they think they need to shut down people's voice. But I actually think it's the opposite. I
Oh
think
yeah,
when things start going crazy, they better let people talk.
that's when you
That's
need the collective.
they should let people talk. Look, that might actually keep people calm.
Yeah.
But when you start shutting down people's voice, that makes people more like justified in their crazy thoughts. Like, see, they shut my voice down. We must be right. And they could be saying some crazy stuff. You know, they could be saying whatever they want, but you just kind of justify them because see, they take away my voice. I was right. You know.
Yeah, and I guess you could look at it like this: is the government's never going to come on and say like, "Hey, everybody, we need 50% of you guys to take this experimental medication, and we need 50% of you not to take it, just in case something bad happens to this group over here." They're never going to say that. But
Mm.
if you let people talk, that's just kind of how it naturally went during the COV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Well,
it's, God, what am I saying? COVID-19, whatever. I'm not scared of saying it. I don't
well,
care.
they're gonna shut that. They're gonna shut this one down. They're gonna shut this one down.
Hey, then that lets people know there's a problem.
You get warning number one. Don't say that again.
Sorry, Dad. We won't. We won't jump on the bunk bed anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I think I don't know. I think I like what conspiracy theories I like talking to the ones on the
Mm,
street. The
yeah.
ones on the street. The old man named Jerry. Jerry. I mean, they got a conspiracy about. I mean, you can find it about anything. You can find it about the pizza dough. I remember someone telling me like, "Oh, the reason why the pizza in New York is so good is because of the water. The water got all the chemicals in it." It's like, is that really the reason? And people say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, definitely, it's the water, 100%."
Huh.
You know, oh, it's the water. Yeah, but don't that water got the most cocaine and pharmaceuticals?
That's why the pizza's so good.
Yeah, dang, okay. That's how you get it nice and that crust on the bottom. Yeah, okay. But yeah, man, I think thinking about all this, like, I
Let me
don't
give
think that. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
let me give people like the most practical advice that I could give you that covers the widest range of scenarios as far as I know it.
Okay,
One, get a pedal bike for every single person in your family. Pedal bike.
okay. Pedal
No
bike.
electric. If it has electric pedal and you have the money for it, that's a good way. But just understand that bike, if the battery system does get hit by an EMP, it's going to be a bunch extra weight and it's never going to work again. Like, there's nothing you can do to it. The
Mm-hmm.
motor is fried, probably, because the wires are so small.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if you get a pedal bike for every person in the family, you get, a couple of changes of clothes in a bag, a waterproof bag, preferably. I'll get to why that's important in a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have stuff to make a fire, stuff to, some basic tools to erect a shelter. I'm talking like a hammer or a hatchet and a little
Like a
saw,
hand axe. Yeah.
a couple little pieces of rope, maybe a tarp that'll cover everybody in the group, or a couple tarps that could cover a couple sets of people in the group. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just basic things like that. Food is tricky. You should be able to find most of your food if anything ever happened, but you want the ability to move around, and your vehicle might not work. And you can always throw this stuff in a vehicle if you have one that works, so it still covers that situation. But just having extra sets of clothes. The other thing is, it's very scary to say this, but raincoats and waterproof bags. And the reason for that is if a nuke ever happened, you definitely need to move. And the clothes that you're wearing, you have to be able to clean them really fast. So if you have rain gear, you can take some Dawn dish soap, wash it, because you might not have the luxury of changing your clothes every time you get somewhere. So you kind of got to make the best of it. And a raincoat, you can pull up over, you can put a mask on. If you have a gas mask or something that's rated for radiation, you can put it on and duct tape it up, you know. So a rain gear and waterproof bags that you could clean real easy, that's a good thing. If you have those things in your house, that's that's all I would really do for now. You know, if you can later get a good communication system that can be on while the cell phones are down, I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely encourage as many people as can to go get a ham radio license, get your ham radio. I'm in this boat. I don't even have mine right now, and that's one of the things on my list to get. So
Hey,
communications, but at least have some kind of plan where you meet everybody that's in your little crew. Maybe it's a house that is the best, but I don't think I would use my house as a good base of operations. I would only stay there a little while and then I would leave.
okay, all right, okay. I like the scenario, but hey, yeah, yeah. What's up? What's up? You live? Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thanks, man. You all right? Okay. So that's one scenario. Sorry about that. My wife was telling me something.
No, you're good.
That's one scenario, right? And that's the one that people are planning for. Now, here's what my brain flips. I'm gonna come from the other side. What if the whole Fallout thing, everything is not going down, but it's actually going up? Like, what if the whole conspiracy theories they just got it backwards? What if the goal is to slowly raise the temperature of everything, just like frogs in a pot? You know, it ain't
Yeah.
hot, but that water start boiling, right? What if the whole scenario is things start costing too much money?
Well, I think that's
You
already
gotta
going on.
you gotta work more. You gotta make this much money to just live, right? You start pushing that pressure up. You know, people can't afford the stuff they need to afford.
Yeah.
What's a vulnerable position, right? You working, you doing what you're supposed to do. You got health bills, you got rent, you got now, just to have food, just to get McDonald's. McDonald's ain't even touching. Oh, McDonald's is for the upper class now. You know, what if that's a scenario that can be controlled by levers and digital computers to just slowly push it up, and you blame it on, oh yeah, that's inflation. Oh, that's this is the economy's doing so great. That's why the stuff keeps going up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your rent that's normal. Your rent $5,000 a month. Bro, I live in the middle of yeah, man. You New York now. This is the new New York. You pay $7,000 a month to live, right?
Yeah.
Now, how much more control will that be? How much more? People got kicked out of countries for being debtors. That means they were controlling people with money. They got extra like kicked out of countries for doing that. You know,
I think that's going on right now.
well, what if that's the other scenario?
These are the conspiracies I hate because I'm like, I feel like I'm in this one right now.
Yeah, I feel like
It's not
that's
a. I don't even think it's a conspiracy anymore. I mean, it's obvious that that's what's happening, right?
yeah, it's
It's happening
happening.
to me.
It's happening. It's in front of everybody's face. People talking about it, right? People.
I don't even
Yeah.
know. I don't even know if my kids are going to be able to buy a house when they get older. You know,
Oh
like just working a job without my help. You know, I
man, that's a thought, bro. That hit me hard. Like, what are we going to have to leave for our kids so they can have something?
it's hard for us to buy houses, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's 100%.
I have
That's
worked. I have worked my ass off to buy a house,
mm-hmm,
and I still was scared when I did it. I thought this
mm-hmm.
is the dumbest thing I could have done. I'm glad I did it now, but it was scary.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's the best advice I could give to you, to people out there about that situation. If you're worried about economic tensions and struggle, and you think the house prices are high now, just wait. Look up housing prices stats over the last 20 years, and you'll see what I'm saying. Go buy a house right now. I almost say, even if you can't afford it, buy a house right now. You'll figure out a way. But once you lock into that price, you have that investment that doesn't seem to go away.
yeah, that's a hard one, bro. That's a hard one, bro.
It's
That's a
hard.
that that's a hard one, and that's the bullet you got to choose to bite, and then that could be a saving grace. But what's the worst that happen? They take it away. You start over again. You do another one.
Yeah.
What's the worst? They
But
take
they
it
have
away.
to they have to they have to do things to take it away that would expose them. They don't
Yeah.
have to do nothing to just keep increasing the prices of everything so
Mm,
much, so much, so much that you can't breathe. I mean,
yeah.
they're not out here telling people, no, you can't charge this price for doing this.
Yeah.
And, and they're just printing off tons of money every single day.
Yeah.
So it's basically like robbing you without ever having access to your money, because they they hold the keys to how much your money's worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the
Hundred
worst
percent.
investment situation I've ever heard of. I would never invest with anybody who was telling me, look, Nate, if you invest in this system with me, you'll get rich. But here's the thing. I I always have the determination on how much value you actually hold in your hand. What?
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
the value the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't need it. And that's where our currency is at right now, is somebody has the ability to say it's worth this much, this much, this much, this. They can do whatever they want with it. So you really don't have anything real. You're actually helpless. That's why I'm kind of interested in, I always thought this was a conspiracy thing and a dumb thing to do, but I'm going to probably start buying gold and silver and stuff like that, because they can't control how much that's worth. They really can't.
Mm.
I need to get out of markets where I don't have the control of how much it's worth. And
Hmm.
with the US dollar, or any currency for that matter, um, obviously even Bitcoin, you know, it's all
Yeah.
tracked through a ledger, but the value of it goes up and down, and it's not you who puts a value on that thing. It is
Yeah.
somebody else that you don't know. I mean, housing's the same way, but statistically, houses are pretty good.
Yeah. And I mean, me maybe coming from another perspective is thinking like, anytime that there's a system, you got to figure out how to beat it, and that's
Oh,
the hardest
absolutely.
part. And it's like understanding the truths and facts. Sometimes it's hard to face, but somehow you got to figure out how to beat it. To me, that's my preference. Like, I think people should think about is like, this system is controlled by maybe a few, but it's run by a many.
Yeah.
It's more people. If people actually just started making decisions, and I know people always say, "Oh, you got to do collective decisions. Everybody got to make the same decision at the same time." That would be great, but people can't get on the same page about a McDonald's burger, a
Hmm.
Popeye's chicken sandwich. They're gonna argue over that.
Yeah.
So, but I think if more people start trying to figure out how to win inside of the system got to do something to change. And it's a big ship. It's very hard to turn, start turning stuff around, start turning stuff off. They can't. It takes a long time to do that. It could take decades to do that.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I think all these prepping things, conspiracy theories, ideas are not incorrect. But I do think that there's other things that need to be at play too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
having a thought, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy gold. If that's what you're gonna do, have a reason for doing it. I'm
Yeah.
doing it because of this reason. Or I'm buying a house, piece of real estate because I know I can farm and I can be here for the next 50 years and I'm good. Okay, that's your strategy.
Oh,
Whatever your
if you can
strategy.
control your food supply on the place that you live,
Hmm.
and you have some form of communications, you will be better off than 9% of people. Like,
Yeah.
those are the big things, but not everyone wants to live a lifestyle like that. And I don't blame them.
Yeah. So
I
what
mean,
lifestyle are we living, bro? Damn.
again, the best thing you can do to prep is to get skills.
Get
Like,
skills. Yeah.
and I'm not talking about bushcraft and like carving stuff and making a trap for something. The likelihood of you being good at that is, and like, say you live in Miami, what are you catching? I mean, it's good to know how to fish, I guess.
Yeah, but it's better to know how to fish and go in the Everglades. I can't. I better make sure I don't get trapped by a gator. That's all
But
I need to worry about.
but that's not the only skills you can have.
Yeah, yeah.
You can learn jujitsu. You can learn talking to people. Like, that's one of the things you do really great, man. I see when you get into a situation, and I've known you for a long time,
Mm,
you seem to have this ability to gravitate towards the people who are running the show, and they always like you. That's a great skill if things are going bad, because groups will form. Then you know, hey, I'm not going to last very long out in those Everglades, but there's a group of people right here, and I know Chris. I'm going to go talk to him. He's running this camp over here. You
that's
might find you,
called that's called the skill of consulting.
yeah,
That's the ability to think through problems and come up with solutions. And a lot of people don't have that. Like when stuff
no,
go haywire, they get into a frenzy mode. I'm afraid. Oh, fear. If you got a consultant mindset, bro, you come up with solutions. That's a skill that I have. If you throw a problem at me, it may not be the conventional way of doing it, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure out like the way to do it and to have the outcome. And people don't like
yeah,
that, bro. A lot of people
no,
don't like that. Some people have a problem with that. They want you to be scared, just like them. You know,
yeah,
it's
I
like,
don't know,
yeah. I think that's probably more keeping a cool head. That's probably the thing that I think that's going to be the first problem. Anything
yeah,
all the conspiracy theories I don't care about, but the one I think about is like people going crazy over something. Bro, one election, bro, people might go, wow, bro. One new law, people might go, wow, bro. Like I feel like people are on the edge right now. One more thing, I think people are just gonna say, man, I'm done. That's. I think that'd be the biggest problem. People always talk about civil war. I think
yeah.
about neighborly war. Imagine neighborly war.
Oh, I
See,
have a feeling I'm going to see some of that in my lifetime.
damn.
I just do. I don't want to put that out there. I'm hoping I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. That's not. Yeah, that's
You
not.
know,
I'm sorry. But this is where the conspiracy theories go. You know.
it is where they go.
Yeah.
Um, I
I
would
don't think they're
say,
gonna happen.
do whatever is, like, do hard things regularly. Like, if it's a hike that sucks, do that. Um, it's just like in military camp. You know, you watch all these people surviving and watching YouTube videos about carving the stick and making animal traps and making shelters and stuff. And it's like, that's cool. But how come they don't do that in the military? How come
Exactly.
everything the military is about putting someone in a worse situation that you could possibly simulate and teaching them how to figure out how to get out of it?
Yeah.
That's the best
Yeah.
skill you can have.
Yeah.
They want to put bombs around you. They want to make you sick. They want to make you tired. They want, because that's how it really happens. You wake up one
Yeah.
day and stuff is not right. Everything's gone to heck. And you don't have your perfect little bug out bag with your machete and your axe and all your fancy stuff. You don't have your little battery that you wind up and
Exactly.
and the shovel with the axe on it that can do like 50 billion things. That stuff's great, but in a real scenario, I don't think you're going to have 90% of it, and even
Yeah.
if, I mean, even people buying generators for their house, it,
Yeah.
it's
Solar.
like,
People buying the solar. Like the
yeah, it's like
solar.
all
Yeah.
that stuff is good, but honestly, not every house has that. So you become a target.
Mm-hmm.
If the wrong people don't have solar and you have the solar, they're coming for your house, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not safe. Just like, the guy during a scenario, who's got like 100 guns in a wheelbarrow behind him and he's pushing them down the road. he's not gonna get very far. Like, that's great you bought all those guns for this situation, man, but you're about to get robbed. You know,
Something,
something.
bro. People, when the mob come, people don't know, bro. Like a group of people will mess you up, man.
It's a
A
wave,
group
man.
of
You can't
people,
kill them all.
you ain't got enough. I mean, you need a very, very, very big gun to
Yeah,
stop a lot of people. All right,
you
and
need a
I
lot
don't
of
know if you
bullets.
you need a lot of bullets, and these not can't be small bullets. Like you can't, But anyway, if I don't go and get this stuff ready, we got to get dinner ready. I'm gonna have my own doomsday, so cut this one off here.
This is how
We'll
you
keep.
survive, adapt, overcome, man.
That's what we need to do. We talking about how to survive the day.
this is this is
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, we got to keep this going. I mean, I think we should pull up some of the information and just I just want to ask people. I just want to ask professionals like their thoughts, like because everyone always interviews like you said, the person with the bowstring knife, or the I'm a prepper. Like okay, we always get those,
Yeah,
but I want to know the person who understands how the water system works, like
yeah.
how, like
Or
if I
what an
actually had
EMP does.
what it actually does, because I know, it's gonna shut down everything. Is it? I can't. All that stuff. I want to
I
meet
don't know
people.
that.
Yeah,
I have no
you know,
idea.
that'd be something interesting to find out and ask. But yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go get this stuff done.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll talk to you later.
All right, dude. This was good, man. We'll catch up.
Yeah, man.
All right, peace.
Peace.